Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about the time that I worked at Wendy's. This was in September of 2022. Um, and this story does entail me having a psychotic break, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I just want to talk about Wendy's. Um, so I had been working as a grocery store baker, and that's actually what I do now because I went back. But between my declining mental state and the drama at this frickin' place, man, this I butted heads really bad with the manager, and um I my friend was a manager at Wendy's, so I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll go apply there." I always wanted to know what it was like to work in fast food. I don't know. A lot of people do it when they're young, and I just never did. And I always wanted to know what it was like, and it actually pays pretty well. It paid more than what I was making as a baker. Especially if you get up in management in fast food, then that's really where the money is. Um, I thought it was going to be really easy. I thought it was going to be like flipping burgers at the beach. On spring break and freaking Beach Boys music playing and stuff, and it was not like that at all. It was very fast paced, hardcore, man, hardcore motivation. So the first thing I noticed right away when I went in for my interview was the atmosphere of the inside. It was very positive. I'd been working in sort of a different kind of environment, so that positive, and the decorations, and there was a sunroom and everything. It was just really nice. And of course I walked in and she was like, "You're hired," and that made me feel really good. um so everybody was actually really welcoming there. Like, they added me to their Facebook group and try to get me involved in their stuff, but apparently I'm antisocial and I ghost people, so I didn't really ever do anything with them. But okay, so the diversity in this place was like insane. Big time culture shock for me. Everybody was so nice, and I it was really cool. Um so the second thing I noticed in Wendy's was like the state of the art equipment, because I've been kind of accustomed to working in smaller places, and the equipment's not always as good in those smaller places because equipment is so expensive. And man, Wendy's, they have like top of the line everything. I'll bet you McDonald's does too. They're probably like, whoa. And like they have like their own mechanics and stuff. Um okay, this is a point I wanted to make. Speaking of the equipment, everything runs on a timer. So if anybody ever says like their food is undercooked, man, I don't know, because everything is on a timer and there's like no way you could possibly undercook something. But that's just a side note. So my okay, so before I talk about what I did there, it was divided between two different types of staff, and that was crew members and managers. Um, as a crew member, you didn't really have too many responsibilities, and that's kind of what I was looking for. You don't have as many privileges, which kind of sucks, but as far as responsibility, you've got it pretty easy when you're a crew member. Managers have to run all the stations, they got to answer the phone, and it just seemed really stressful to me. So my duties was the fry station. I never made it past the fry station, and there's a couple of reasons for that. I was too scared to run the counter. The front counter was scary. Coordinating the window and handing people their food is incredibly scary, because what if you give somebody the wrong food? I really hate taking people's money, because I'm like, what if I ring up the wrong car or something? Like, and then people who make sandwiches, man, I could never do it. I tried to make a couple of breakfast sandwiches before, and it was really scary. So I did fries and nuggets on this side, and then behind me I had to flip burgers at the same time and run them over to the sandwich station and make sure they had all their stuff. And it was it was actually really scary. I don't know, it was so fast paced, and I'm like a baker and everything is so slow. Okay, so like 2 to 4 minutes is a really long time in fast food, because if somebody is ordering something and you're out of nuggets, it takes like 4.5 minutes to cook a nugget, and then the people got to pull up, and then it just sucks. So the timer is pretty intimidating too. Some of the perks of working at Wendy's were the frosty chinos. When I was doing all the videos and stuff and like taking the test and everything, one of the managers brought me a frosty chino, and it was so good. I swear it's better than Starbucks or McDonald's or anything, and it's like half the price. Another thing I really liked there was the chili, and I ate like a ton of it. I ate it every day, and it's probably the one healthy thing that you could eat in fast food. But let me make a point here about the chili, because every Tuesday is buy one get one free chili, and by like 4 o'clock they're always out. But it's because people come through the line and they order like 2 or 3 chilies, and then they end up with like 6, and that's why it disappears, because people are buying it up, putting it in their fridge. I mean, even I've done that, I'll be honest, I'm guilty. Breakfast was my least favorite part of the shift, because you could only make a certain amount of stuff, and it was just hard to tell how much to make. I don't know. Scary. Breakfast was scary. Just another thing. So aside from the diversity of the staff, everyone was like insanely motivated. I've never worked with more motivated people in my entire life. And there was like so much teamwork. That was like a big thing there. There was no such thing as every man for himself. It was all teamwork. And I've actually never worked anywhere that's been like that to that extent. Even though, I mean, we use teamwork where I work, but at that time. So some of this is like a really, really small town. So I knew virtually everyone who went through that drive-through line, and that was pretty funny. But I ended up going back to my old job because of everything that happened. And so I think I worked at Wendy's for a total of 6 weeks, but out of that 6 weeks, I was only there for 4 because I went crazy. But that is my story about working at Wendy's. I loved everybody there. I wish everybody the best. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.